Have you ever noticed how one decision can completely change the direction of your life? Not your circumstances, not luck, but just simply one clear decision. Today in Thursday Flow, I want to talk about the power of decision and why the life you're living right now is largely the result of the decisions you've made along the way. What all of us really want is a greater quality of life, correct? Not just a good life, but an extraordinary life. Who's with me on that? Because in order to get there, we have to move beyond living in a constant state of stress. And what creates stress for so many people? It's trying to manage every single circumstance. All this stuff is happening, and we feel like we have to control it all. But we are not meant to be managers of circumstances. We are designed to be creators. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to believe religiously, but something created us, correct? And because we were created, we also have the ability to create. We can create frustration, anger, and unhappiness. Or we can choose to create love, joy, and excitement. We can create a business. We can create results. We can create meaning in our lives. But it all begins with one small thing: decision. Whether you are a parent running a business, volunteering in your community, or blissfully retired and deciding how to spend your day, life is shaped by decisions. And here's the truth: even not deciding is making a decision. You are deciding to stay where you are. And that was quite a realization for me when I discovered that point. Choosing not to make a decision is making a decision. So, for many people, decision making does not come easily. But it's important to realize that you actually have the ability to direct your mind and take charge of your decisions. It's a lot like learning to drive a car. When you're learning to drive, you must stay focused, correct? And watch where you are going. If your eyes wander, the wheels tend to wander, and you have to quickly correct your direction. The same principle applies to life. Wherever you focus, you steer. If you focus on what you want, are you guaranteed to get it? Not necessarily. But if you focus on the wall, are you guaranteed to hit it? Unfortunately, absolutely yes. So life is about increasing the probability of getting where you want to go by focusing on what you want. Yet many people do the opposite. They focus on the wall, the problems, the challenges. Then when things don't work out, they say, I made a decision once before and it didn't turn out well, so I'm not going down that road again. But here's the reframe: there is no failure. There is only feedback if you allow it. Life is about learning, and you cannot learn without making decisions and sometimes making mistakes. And here's something important about decisions: most people think a decision is a single step. You make a decision and that's it. But in reality, there are 3 levels. And the first level is obviously deciding. Sometimes deciding feels like a battle inside, but really, decision making is just clarifying your values. When you know what truly matters most to you, decisions become easier. But even when people make a clear decision, many still fail to follow through. Why? Because they stop at step 1, just simply making the decision. There comes a second level, and the second level is commitment. So let me ask you, what's the difference between deciding and committing? Yes. If you said commitment demands action, you're right on the ball there. Deciding happens in a moment, but commitment pushes that moment into the future. Things might change. Fear might show up. In fact, fear usually shows up. Circumstances might shift. But when you are committed, you continue regardless. And what keeps commitment strong are reasons, your why. If your reasons, your why are strong enough, you will stay the course. And how many times have we said that? Have you heard me say that? But there is a third level beyond decision and commitment, and that is resolve. That's when you have this gut feeling, you know in your heart and your head and your stomach that it's done, it's a done deal, it's done and dusted. There are no other options. And when you feel resolved, what emotion shows up? Often it's peace, relief, freedom, certainty, strength. There is strength in that moment because the internal battle is over. The decision has been made, the choice is made, it's done and dusted. So in the end, making sound decisions really comes down to making more decisions. Success in life often comes from good judgment. And where does good judgment come from? Experience. And where does experience come from? Making decisions. Good decisions, imperfect decisions, but making them. And the one thing none of us wants to experience at the end of our life is regret. Regret for chances not taken, regret for lessons not learned, regret for growth that never happened. And Jim Rohn once said, discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Think upon that. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Here's a principle worth writing down. Never leave the place where you made a decision without taking an action that commits you to following through right then and there. So when you've written down your decision, your action plan, you need one action to act upon right then and there. Because in that moment, you mean it. You are fired up, you are energized. You're living in that moment. You are present in the moment. But later, life gets busy. Distractions appear. Your emotions change. Trust me, your emotions change. And you will go through lots of different emotions for and against your decision. And that's why many people end up with a life that doesn't fully reflect what they truly wanted. So here's something powerful you can do. When you make a decision, write down 3 action steps and take one of those steps immediately, right then, right there, because immediate actions turn a decision into momentum. Now I want you to pause to think for a moment. What is one decision you made in the past that was difficult, but it changed your life for the better? Maybe it was about your health, your work, a relationship, or a bold new direction. If you look honestly at your life today, it's not your circumstances that shaped it. And the beautiful thing about that is, if decisions shaped the life you're living now, new decisions can shape the life you're stepping into. Let me say that again for you. The beautiful thing about the decision making is, if decisions shaped the life you're living now, new decisions can shape the life you're stepping into. It's your decision. They're your decisions. Now think of another decision, even a small one, that led to something meaningful or valuable in your life. And while you're in that state of remembering, ask yourself this. What is one small decision I could make today that would improve the quality of my life. Maybe it's deciding to learn something new, to meet someone, to release a belief that no longer serves you. A small decision, but one you know is right. Now, imagine the cost if you don't make that decision, if you don't act upon it. What might it cost you over the next year, 5 years, 10 years? What opportunities might you miss? Worse still, what regrets might you carry? And now imagine making the decision right now and taking immediate action. Because that is how you know it's truly a decision. You act. And in that moment, your life begins to move in a new direction. So today I invite you to reflect on this. What is one decision you know it's time to make? Not 10, just one. Write it down. And of course, choose one action step to begin with immediately. Because small decisions taken consistently shape the direction of our lives. And the beautiful truth is this: you are never stuck. You are always one decision away from a different path. With heart, Margarita, until next time.